Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Full Credit to Not Another Rugby League Podcast. I'm your special guest, former legend, and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and that vacuum that is Blue Sky at former_legend. And let's kick off with what caught my senses in the past 7 days. Let me just get this straight, boys. It's 2026, right? And the NRL's absolutely flying. We have an amazing TV product. We have a brilliant technology. We have a remote bunker system to help the referees make correct decisions. So, boys, tell me this. Why the living fuck can't we get a microphone for journalists in press conferences? All we hear properly are the answers from the coaches, but no one has the foggiest idea what the hell they're responding to. Here's my impersonation of a post-game Ricky Stewart press conference. Ricky, yeah, that's right. Yeah, probably at least 20 times. Well, that's a question I'll be asking NRL on Monday morning. Absolutely disagree. That is one of the dumbest questions I've ever been asked in a press conference. Ricky, that's it. No more questions. Thanks, guys. Righto, let's do a rapid recap for round 5, which the NRL stupidly made Vuvuzela round, where fans were encouraged to bring their massive plastic horns to the ground. I say stupid because P1 at Olympic Park sounded like 1,000 elephants being dry-rogered simultaneously after Canterbury beat Penrith on Thursday. So let's start there. Thursday night, when the Bulldogs upset the undefeated Panthers out at Empty Seat Stadium to win 32 points to 16. The Dogs were despised $6 outsiders going into the game, and somehow they shocked the Panthers, the NRL, the community, and themselves to get their third win of the year. Put it this way, if it was a horse race, both teams would have been piss-tested straight after the game. Bulldogs proc Max King played 45 minutes with a broken jaw after Panthers centre Casey Chambers tried to shoulder charge his head off. After he copped the shot, King racked up the astonishing stats of 13 runs for 103 metres and 36 tackles, missing just one, all with a broken jaw. Blues coach Laurie Daly says he now regrets not breaking King's jaw during Origin 2 last year. Friday night saw the Dragons go 0-6 to start this year as Manly beat them 28 points to 18 at Port Kembla Outfall Stadium. The lead-up to this match was all about Shane Flanagan's job being on the line after losing their last 9 games of NRL. And the Dragons went out there and played hard for their coach for about 18 minutes before kicking back and organising a working bee to help Flanno pack up his office and take all his shit back to the Shire. And when I say all his shit, I mainly mean his young bloke. Manly winger and Illawarra local Ruben Sandwich starred for the Seagulls, scoring 2 meat pies, running for 220 metres, making 21 tackles and 3 tackle busts. Asked if he'd ever consider returning to his hometown, he tellingly said he preferred to stay at a stable club like Manly. The second game on Friday night and knocked me down with a feather if Brisbane didn't get another Friday night game, something many local fans have been picketing the NRL for. But it didn't help the local team as they went down to the Cowboys 35 points to 31 at Anna Bligh Stadium. It was a game where tackling was optional as the teams traded the lead all through the night until Scott Bongwater kicked a field goal for the Cowboys and then the muffler man Helam Lukey crossed for a try to secure the win. It was an emotional day for Bongwater, who was told he could negotiate with rival clubs, and disturbingly, he's been linked to the Dragons. Saturday afternoon, in the first game in a doubleheader over in Perth at Gina Reinhardt Oval, saw the Raiders finally get their first win in 5 weeks, beating the Bunnies 36 points to 34. At one stage, the Raiders were cruising at 24 points to 4 before they had a little rest to let Souths back in with 15 minutes to go. But then KO Weeks received the ball inside his own 10 metres and beat 13 defenders twice to run 90 metres to score. It was a tough afternoon for the Bunnies, who also lost one of Willy Wonka's Oompa Loompas, Jai 50 Shades of Grey, with an AC injury early in the game after being tackled by the chip man Morgan Smithies. The injury will likely see Latrell Mitchell return to the fullback role, which worked really well last year for the Bunnies. The second game on Super Saturday at Gina Reinhardt saw the Roosters beat the Sharks 34 points to 22. Twice in this game, the Roosters were down by 16 points, but they put on a bigger comeback than Ray J on Kim Kardashian, at one stage scoring 34 of 40 points in the game. You have to feel for the Sharky side, who weren't used to playing on an oval where they didn't have to go and pick up builder's nails and bits of fibro before kickoff. After the game, Roosters coach B. Sting Robinson started to really let rip at the press conference about the piss-poor level of refereeing before he quickly shut that down when Captain Teddy Tedesco reminded B. Sting that the Roosters had won. The final game on Super Saturday came from Ronald Katut Park, where the visiting Warriors team beat the Storm 38 points to 14. It was 18-14 at half-time, and Melbourne coach Craig Bellamy...
Dead man! Dead man walking!
...gave one of his famous rousing pump-up speeches where he reminds some of his weaker performers that they're not an NRL player's arsehole. And the Storm responded accordingly, not scoring a point in the second half and conceding another 20 for their first loss in 17 games against the Warriors and their fourth loss in a row. Surely it's just a matter of time now before Bellamy is sent packing and the Storm bring in a coach with a better understanding of the modern game like Anthony Griffin, Jason Taylor or attacking coach genius Adam O'Brien. Sunday in the Eels hosted the Gordon Tallis Titans at Spurbank Stadium and the final score was 52 points to 10 to the... checks notes... Titans.
Right.
In the end, it was 9 tries to 2 flogging, the second time this year the Eels have conceded more than 50 in a game. If we were piss-testing the Panthers and the Bulldogs after their game on Thursday, you'd be accusing the Tigers of being fine cotton at the end of this one. Jaden Campbell beat the Eels by himself, scoring 24 personal points against the 10 of the Eels, kicking 8 goals and scoring 2 tries, while fullback Keanu Reeves was untouchable all afternoon. He had 4 try assists and 170 Supercoach points, so there's probably some Neville out there who made him their captain while they were in their mum's basement with their VPN not working. And in the final game of the round, the Tigers hosted the Knights down at Meth Lab Stadium in Campbelltown. In the lead up to this game, many people were saying that it was a top 4 clash, but let's just call it for what it is, a competition heavyweight playing last year's Wooden Spooners. And that's just what we got with the team of destiny beating the Central Coast Battlers 42 points to 22. And that was despite the Tigers being without their inspirational captain. In fact, the Tigers were so short for players, Supercoach Benji Marshall drove around Western Suburbs building sites looking for a centre and spotted Patrick Herbert, who last played NRL for the Titans in 2022. Herbert swapped the Brickies trowel and the Monster Energy for breakfast for a borrowed pair of boots and one of Benji Marshall's old mouthguards to have a massive game. He had a try assist, 176 running metres, 2 line breaks and a meat pie to top off a dream return to footy. And in probably the only good news for the Knights, they face the Tigers again in June, but it's during Origin where it's likely that Sydney team will have around 14 players for New South Wales and Queensland. So that's round 6 wrapped up, boys. A round where Flanno started asking around for empty cardboard boxes, Craig Bellamy started to threaten to bash his players, and Kieran Foran threatened to leave if he didn't get a 12-year contract. Back to you in the Nathan Brooks Memorial Studios.